Okay, the boxing world, welcome to Strictly Boxing with Derek Poppy Rolon. Okay, man, let me give you this recap, man, of these great fights we saw this weekend in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Jeron Ennis finally got the opportunity, man, to display his skills and his talent against a worthy opponent. He looked really, really good. He kept his jab up. His defense looked a little better. Punched good to the body, looked real good with his footwork. He rolled off, he was counter punching. Really good, very good performance, Jeron Ennis, man. I got to give you big bucks, man, for beating up Stan Jones this past weekend, man. He looked really good, man. Finally, he got an opponent that he can really display himself. Here's the thing, though, like he beat a worthy opponent, and now we're calling him the greatest welterweight in the world today. I'm not sure if that's appropriate right now. Yes, I can't take nothing away from his performance this weekend. Yes, I think he's on the road to being great. Last year before, we compared him to Terence Crawford. We compared him to Virgil Ortiz. He talked about moving up to 154. I don't think he's on those levels yet. I think he could be one of the top guys definitely one of the top guys in the welterweight division. He still got to prove himself in terms of, he got an opportunity to finally say, I love what he said after the fight, where he said, I finally won the title, that he wasn't really feeling good about getting that IBF championship from just the IBF just gave it to him, and they called it, he didn't get a chance to fight for it. So finally, he got a chance to fight for a title, win the title, and take away from another champion. Big ups, Jeron. Boost, that was good. And proud of you, man. You look pretty good, man. You look real sharp. Defense was good. Like I said, the footwork was good. The jab was sharp. Can't take nothing from him, man. I just don't know if I could just call him the greatest welterweight in the world today, man. Some good guys in the welterweight division right now, man. We got to kind of consider Brian Norman. We got to consider Barrios. We got to consider the other champions is also on the same level, man. And so I got to see who do you think Jeron should be fighting next, man. I know they talking about, I heard they said something about Brian Norman was offered to fight him much more money than what he ever got before, and they turned it down. Listening to his pop, listening to Brian Norman's father, that's not the case, man. That wasn't the case. They offered something. He counter-offered. They came back. He tried to kind of went back and forth a few times with counter-offers, and they were still on negotiating the fight. That's not saying you don't want the fight. I'm trying to get the best for what I can get for my son. And ain't nothing wrong with that, Mr. Norman. I got to go with you on that. But I don't know, man. Brian Norman is definitely a worthy opponent. To me, he's a step up from Stan Jones. He's young, he's strong, he's a hard puncher. Bruce definitely can't be getting hit with these shots against Brian Norman. He got hit a few times with Stan Jones, and he took the fight, punched well, and he countered well, and he rolled off a few times. That was beautiful. Now, Brian Norman, I think, is a different monster. I think he's a different monster with a much bigger punch. That's going to be something to look out for. I don't know who Eddie Hearn want to put him against Barrios. Barrios probably be another tough fight. But here's the situation I want to bring up and I want to talk about. And tell me what you guys think about what I'm saying now. Like, when you watch the fight, did Boost look like a lot bigger than Stan Jones? Look, he looked a lot bigger than me in the ring. It looked like he was in a different weight class. And I'm going to tell you something, man. Being that it was a unification, they didn't have to go by the IBF rules. Now in his Boost's last two fights, he complained about making the 147. He complained about making the 147, and he said he think he's going to have to move up to the 154. So that's why we started looking for some championship bouts in the 154 weight division. But since he's fighting a unification bout, he didn't have to go with the rehydration clause of the IBF used to enforce. Because it's a unification, they didn't enforce the 10 pounds over. So look how much bigger he looked in the ring. So that's another thing I wanted to bring up. And not taking nothing away from his performance, not taking nothing away from it. Just wanted to note that he did look a lot bigger than Staniones, and that gave him a big edge of taking some punches, and he hit a lot harder with that weight. Whereas in his last two fights, he complained about the enforcement was that you couldn't go over the 10 pounds. The hydration clause was in effect, and he struggled with it and said it didn't look as good because of that. So maybe he needed to go up to 154 anyway. However, I do think his performance was an outstanding performance. I don't think that I'm convinced enough to say he's on the level with the Terence Crawford or even a Virgil Ortiz. Now, so I mean, I don't know what you guys think, man. You know, let me know, man. I appreciate it, man. If you got some comments about it, if you think, you know, he beat Staniones and that means he the greatest fighter, he the best in the world in 147, and that's what you think. But Staniones, to me, you got to beat them other. You unify the title, maybe I'll give you that. If you was able to beat these next two guys, Barrios and listen, on the card also, there was a set of featherweights that I wanted to talk about, man, because Raymond Ford, another Jersey fighter, man, he defeated Matisse, man. He beat Matisse, to me, every round, man. You know, every round he beat him, every round unanimous decision. You know, he just beat him senseless, man. And I thought Matisse is a good fight. I thought it was going to be a good fight, but Raymond Ford gets another win coming back from his loss, and that's a big shout out for him right there. So that's a good fight out of Camden, New Jersey. So he got a unanimous decision against Matisse, 10-round featherweight fight, and he looked pretty good. But back to back to Jeron Boots, man. I mean, do you think he's like a weight bully? Do you think he's doing the Devin Haney type of thing? You know, because these guys looking a lot smaller than him, man. You know, maybe, you know, the IBF championship. If you're giving somebody else a shot that's not a champion, you gotta go by that hydration clause. Just something for me to think about. I mean, you know, I ain't shooting nothing on his performance though. I was really impressed, man. I thought he looked real comfortable in there. Looked real comfortable boxing. He's getting better. He's going to be a better fighter. I think he need to fight my man. I think he need to fight Brian Norman fast though. I think you need to fight Brian Norman because he's getting better also. Let him get some more fights, get some more experience. You know, it might be a different story. Now, here's the story with Staniones. Staniones only had 15 fights, right? He only was 15-0 with 9 knockouts. So he only had 15 fights. Now, you're going to step up to a Brian Norman who got 27 fights. He's 27-0 with 21 knockouts. You know, he's closer to the 34-0 now that Jeron is 34-0 now with 30 knockouts, which is good. But now he's fighting an opponent that's, I mean, if he was to fight Brian Norman a lot more closer with experience than Staniones did. That's why I can't really say, okay, he's best fighter in the welterweight division. Like, you know, you haven't fought everybody in the welterweight division. You know, you fought one worthy opponent, and you know, you looked really good. One out of the last 3 fights that I saw you. The last 2 I wasn't impressed. So, but Boots, good luck. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I think you're moving real good, bro. I think your pops is doing real good with you. I think you look outstanding against Staniones. Hope they pick your fights next. I don't know what's next for you. I don't know what's next, but it would be nice for you if you're able to do the unification bouts and become undisputed welterweight champion in the world. That'll look real good for you. By that time, I believe you will be on that level with Crawford and Ortiz and them. You go up to 47. I mean, you go up to the 54. At that point, I think you'll be more on his level and more of a better fight than that. That's a really good fight for me. You know, that's what I would like to see Boots get to that level where he's going up against those top guys, Crawford or Ortiz. Man, this is Derek Poppy Roland at Strictly Boxing. Like and share the video. Let me know what you think about the topic we're talking about. Do you think that Boots is the greatest heavyweight champion. I'm sorry, the current best welterweight champion in the world today? Let me know. Or just a regular performance with a guy can look good against because the guy's right in front of him and you can just box him and pick him off like he did really good. Dark Poppy, roll on, strictly boxing.